It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. Merry Christmas to everybody out there, as we are just a few short days away. It is Christmas week officially here on a Tuesday, and man, just counting down the final days, final minutes, final hours here for the best holiday of the year in Christmas 2021. Can't believe it is here already. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I know it's a busy week. You're running around getting those last minute gift ideas done, finishing up probably a short few days at work. So trying to get everything done at the office or wherever you call the career, the workplace. So stay safe out there. Safe travels, of course. A lot of people on airplanes and on the road. So stay patient. I know it's not easy. I have not been very patient myself on the road one way or another. But Merry Christmas, guys. It's really here. I've been saying it for weeks, and I'm so very excited for this Saturday, December 25th. Oh man, it's a week really where similar to Thanksgiving, where you just start eating a little bad, a little earlier. You're like, there's a lot of justifying. You know what I mean? Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, it's Christmas. You know, it's like when you're on a cruise. You kind of eat whatever you want, and it's just like, well, I'm here. I'm on vacation. I'm on a cruise. Whether you're on a cruise or vacation or not, it's Christmas time. So it's time to indulge. It's time to have those extra cookies. It's time to, maybe get a little late night pasta, whatever floats your boat. It's time to enjoy, eat, drink, be merry. What a concept, right? I'm going to try to bounce around today, guys, with a few different topics because I'm fired up for Christmas, but I'm also fired up for a lot of the chaos going on, the orchestrated chaos, maybe I don't even know what to call it anymore. I am so over so many of these crazy things that are going on in our country, around the world too, but mostly our country, the division, the fear. I mean, this is supposed to be a magical time of year, right? A time of hope, a time of family and just togetherness. And all those things are kind of being pushed aside. All those things are being under attack. And I can't stand it. I won't stand for it. I am totally against so much of it. And so I'm going to have some topics today that might anger some, but hey, as I've told you before, you kind of know what to expect on the Get Home Safe podcast. Usually me rambling away, probably angering somebody, maybe making somebody chuckle. I don't know. I try to keep it open, free, whatever. Like unlike our country, which is a whole nother story. Hopefully, you guys don't hear the neighbors here. As the kids are off and been making a lot of noise through our very thin walls. And for those not watching on YouTube, got our lovely Christmas tree behind me. I thought I would change up the background a little bit for the special Christmas week. I almost said holiday, and then I went into to realize just how angry I get when I hear happy holidays. Think about it. It's the only holiday, Christmas that is, where we supplement the word holiday. People always it's just to cover all the holidays. Oh, really? How come we don't do that for other holidays? Just curious. I said one time in the summer, I said happy holidays, and I want to say happy holidays because it was around Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and Easter, right? February, March, April, and those. If you break it down by St. Valentine's, St. Patrick's. Technically, those are religious holidays. Let's be honest. Let's search our souls here. So I said happy holidays so that I include all three of those holidays at whatever it was, March or February. I was saying this, and I said, and yes, that's how stupid happy holidays at Christmas time sounds. People just like it's the C word, man. You can't say Christmas. It's like, come on, you can do it. Merry Christmas. I can't even quit like people are being tortured. We've been, what's the word? We've been programmed to say happy holidays. And maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, but most of the country does. Most people do. Even if it's not a religious side of things, like that's the thing. It's a federal holiday. Everyone's off that day. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. We got, nurses and military, police, and fire. They're we're not all of them working, but they're working. So, but most of us get the day off, right? And it's you don't have to. We know the reason for the season. Most of us, believe all that stuff in the New Testament, in the good book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We believe those things. But there's other people who are secular, who are agnostic or atheist or whatever, and they still celebrate Christmas. You can celebrate Christmas without being super religious. It's okay. So happy holidays. Yeah, just it goes so people go so far with it too. Oh, I'm at a holiday party, holiday break. Holiday is like describing. You can't use holiday to describe a holiday. You know what I mean? Like, it's like football is a sport. You can't say, I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this. Where am I trying to go with this? You can't use the word holiday to describe a holiday. It is a holiday, but you can't title it a holiday. Which holiday is this? That's what I'll say. Which holiday is this? Holiday. No. Which? Yeah, I know it's a holiday, but which holiday? Well, happy holidays. No, I understand it. Which holiday are you sending me happy praise for? Well, whichever one you and your family respectfully celebrates. You have wonderful winter solstice tree behind you. Do we really? Is this really where we want to? The direction we want to go? Is it that hard to say Merry Christmas? Is it that difficult? And to the people it might offend? If you let's say you're the biggest atheist, maybe not even atheist. Let's just say you don't celebrate Christmas. Let's say you're Jewish or whatever. You celebrate something else. If someone wishes you a Merry Christmas, are you seriously that offended at all? That someone would be wishing you good cheer, a holiday they celebrate, most of the country celebrates, and they wish you, hey, Merry Christmas. I can't believe you would do that to me. Treat you like you're not wearing a mask or something. Different subject, I know. But yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. It's not that difficult. You can say it. I love saying it after someone tells me happy holidays in a grocery store or when I'm driving for Uber or whatever. And sure, I'll get in trouble for that, I'm sure, somehow, some way. Slap on the wrist. How dare you celebrate Christmas? But this stuff has been happening for a long time. The war on Christmas, the war on our traditions. I mean, I'm going to try to stay positive today, but I mentioned I have a few things that I get riled up about, especially this last week when I was like, oh, I'm writing that one down. So Merry Christmas. Can we stop saying holiday? You can't just say, well, it's a holiday. It's a holiday. Like, just say it. Because next week you're going to say Happy New Year. That's a funny thing. As soon as, we say Happy Holidays only at Christmas. And you're like, well, we're summing up all the holidays, Thanksgiving and New Year's. And okay, well, yeah, but you say Happy Thanksgiving. You say Happy New Year. You could say Merry Christmas. It's all right. It's okay. Try it on. You might like it, guys. Don't be programmed like just anytime someone says this is what you're supposed to do. Growing up and through Rio and my parents and everything, it's like, okay, I bought into that stuff. But as I've been an adult and I've tried to see and I've seen this control that people try to put on us, I'm kind of going the other way with it. If you say jump, I'm not saying so high, how high anymore. I've always been a good soldier, but you know what? There comes a time when we all got to kind of stand up for ourselves and make our own decisions. What a concept, right? So Merry Christmas. I'm going to keep saying it all through this program, guys, because it's December 21st. That is the winter solstice, I think. I don't know all that crazy science stuff. I'm a science denier, I guess. Anyway, let me see here. So I had lunch last week with a good friend. Took him to the airport, and we went to Philly's Best. And haven't had Philly's Best in a long time. Great cheesesteak, right? And, you think, okay, Philadelphia, cheesesteaks, freedom, where Liberty Bell is, where, Declaration of Independence. I could be wrong on that. Anyway, it's a very, historical city and great cheesesteaks, man. So we go in there. And like the rest of this barren wasteland of Los Angeles, we go in and you got to wear a mask to walk in, and signs everywhere. You must wear your mask unless you're sitting at a table, because that is the safe zone. So we walk in and we go to order, and there's this glass, window. That's a temporary one, obviously, that is set up between the cashier and us. So we go in and we kind of lean into order. There's a lady behind the counter wearing a mask, and behind this glass-plated, bulletproof, might as well have been bulletproof glass, very welcoming, I must say. And so we go in there, and I lean in to order. She's like, "Is this together?" I was like, "Yeah, it's together. It's fine." So I order. My friend goes to lean in, pulls his mask down, not like all the way, just pulls it down so that you can kind of see his mouth. Keep in mind, there's glass here between us. And as he goes to order, he had like a number one with, like, it was going to be for 3 seconds or whatever. The lady goes, "Oh, put your mask on." And he kind of like looks at me thinking, like, is she joking? Like, is she serious? And so he goes, "Okay." Well, he goes to order again. And I wish you guys just listening could see this, but on YouTube, you'll see what I mean. He goes to order again, pulls the mask down just a little so you can read, first of all, so you can talk, so you can get the sound through the bulletproof glass. And she does it again, but this time she like jumps backwards, like he was trying. It was as if he had a knife and was assaulting her. That was the image I got. And at that point, I just like turned away, biting my lip, laughing so hard. And he finally ordered. I took her a bunch more tries. I had a $100 bill in my hand, and I went to pay with a card like I normally do. And I'm like, "Nope, you're getting cash, lady. You're getting that deadly, unsafe cash that has, been transferred through a bunch of people." So my little victory there, I gave her the cash. She took her time breaking me. And so me and my friend are just chuckling. I'm going, "You've got to be kidding me." As far as irrational fear goes, that is, I don't know if it's funny or sad. So then we're waiting for our drinks, of course. And I look at the wall and I see, oh, there you go. That explains it. And it says University of Pennsylvania graduate or alumni or whatever. And it might not have been her, but still, with kind of the things that have been going in the news with, we'll say, some Ivy League schools and other things, shutting down out of complete fear when everyone's vaccinated. And look at, you may think I'm some heartless person, heartless, whatever you want to fill in there. But I'm over this irrational fear. Okay. You know what? I know people, it's been almost 2 years. This is the second Christmas where people are like, "Don't celebrate. Do not see loved ones. You must wear hazmat suits to go see loved ones." You know what? It's like, no, I'm done with this. I'm over it. I'm not living in fear. You want to live in fear? Go ahead. All right. The lady there behind the counter, I feel so bad for her because she believes a lot of the things she hears and is just not thinking rational or clearly. But that's California for you. That's Burbank specifically, which is a city that is just flooded with irrational fear. So I thought I'd share that experience. And of course, the two TVs that were on in the corners, no, not ESPN, which I'll get to in a second, not Fox Sports, not anything like that. Oh, of course, in one corner, we had CNN, and the other corner, we had MSNBC. So propaganda all around, and the last time I probably visit that Philly's Best in Burbank. But anyway, hopefully you haven't turned off the podcast here by now. But that was very random and something that I wanted to get to. Another thing, first one out of more kind of anger, and I'll try to get these things out of the way first before we move into the cheery section of the podcast. ESPN, you ever been in this love-hate relationship with someone? Like you date someone you shouldn't. You're like just like back and forth, on again, off again. Maybe it's with a family member, a friend, I don't know. But usually you see it in relationships, right? This love-hate thing, your sports teams maybe. Well, ESPN is kind of that for me. They offer so much content, unfortunately, with sports. If there was a brand new channel created and cover. I used to watch SportsCenter nightly, daily. I don't anymore. I hardly ever watch ESPN unless it is a specific game. Unfortunately, it's got a lot of college basketball, a lot of college football. The only thing I might watch on ESPN is College Game Day on Saturday mornings. But other than that, I don't like hardly any of their content. They're always preaching to you. And ESPN a week ago or so, they made this big deal apparently out of the Bubba Wallace noose incident. Remember this fake noose that occurred? It was a year to the date, right? And look, if something like this had been true and real, yes, it's reprehensible. I got to say that. Reprehensible and completely unacceptable, and something that none of us should laugh at or joke about or anything. But the whole alleged noose in his garage was a complete fabrication. It wasn't a noose. It was a pull-down rope for a garage that had been there, according to the FBI, weeks before, if not a month or so before. It wasn't some hate crime. However, ESPN and their irresponsible reporting, if you want to call it journalism, propaganda, in my opinion, they make a big deal about this story 1 year later and how it united NASCAR. And it was completely based around a false event. And what they're doing is trying to stir us up, trying to stir up this racial division and hatred, and it pisses me off. It's absolutely unacceptable. Hate crimes are serious issues. If they did not actually happen, yes, I'm looking at you, Jussie Smollett, then you are the one who's making a mockery of a serious situation. There was no hate racial crime against Bubba Wallace. Yet he went on to talk about it and say, how horrible, I don't think he went as far to go traumatic and everything, but ESPN has gone so woke that they're now talking about reliving experiences that weren't true. They weren't true. Yet you're trying to push it as truth. That's scary to me. That's propaganda. I don't know how many times I got to use that word. It didn't happen. And you're trying to make it seem like it did 1 year ago. We've come a long way. A long way from what? It didn't happen. And some of you probably go, Matt, how can you just talk about, why do you do this? Come on, Matt, just talk about Christmas. Be happy. I want to be happy. I also hate seeing a sports network talk about fake hate crimes, race hoaxes. If there's so many of these running rampant all over the country, how come some people have to make them up? It's an interesting question. I'm not saying they don't exist, but my God, I talked about fear earlier with the COVID lady, irrational fear. I truly do believe some people really enjoy fear. And I'm not talking about the fear of a roller coaster going, through a loop or something. I think being afraid gives people like purpose. What about being brave? What about being courageous? I know we label everybody as brave. Oh, you talked about who you like in high school. Oh, you're brave. Oh, you told a manager something who tried to hold you accountable for something at your job. Oh, you're brave. Now brave is, even the word brave has been mislabeled. So a little fired up because my holiday, my Christmas season, I'll say, is being assaulted by misinformation. That's another fancy word people love to misuse, which is hilarious. The Bubba Wallace noose incident, it did not happen. It was a fake news situation. So again, I can't say it enough. If it did happen, if it was real, absolutely reprehensible, and the people who did it should be held accountable and brought to justice. But there was no one who did it. It was a complete random rope for the garage to pull down and pull down the garage door. It wasn't this targeted attack on someone. It's completely random. So anyway, can't say it again. If it was an attack, if it was a targeted attempt, evil, wrong. There, I said it. But it's not what happened. And ESPN is being irresponsible. And it kills me that I have to I don't have to. I guess I don't have to, but it kills me that I do turn on their channels sometimes. I can't watch their talk shows anymore. Their morning shows, because it always goes super left. And I'm just like, can you just tell me who won the game last night? Can you just tell me, why they went for it on 4th and 1 last night? That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear about some rally or how inspiring, inspire change or what. Just please, sports. Can we do that? Is that okay? So this is a funny story, and I talked about it a little bit with some friends, and Valerie posted it on Facebook. There's some things that are a big deal, some things that aren't. It's all in the eye of the beholder. And I have YouTube TV as our cable provider. Streaming is great, man. No cords, and just it doesn't freeze that often. I love streaming. I've done Sling. I've done PlayStation View, which went out of business probably because of the name. Should have changed their name, unfortunately. They were great. I said Sling. I was currently doing YouTube TV, and I get an email from YouTube TV saying, we could now reach an agreement with Disney. Therefore, all the ESPN family of networks will no longer be available on our streaming. ESPN, ESPN2, SEC Network, everything. And I thought it was a joke at first. I was like, what? What are you talking about? First of all, YouTube, isn't they owned by Google and Disney, pretty big? These huge corporations, can you guys, kind of come together and meet or whatever, come to an agreement for us common folk, for us peasants, please, who just want to watch a random college football game on a Saturday? Is that okay? So couldn't reach an agreement, so we will no longer carry ESPN. We will lower your bill, however, $15. I was like, lower my bill? What's the point of having a cable provider if you can't watch most of the sporting events? So I started panicking, and it was Saturday, first Saturday of bowl games. There was an NFL game on. I had to go to work, of course, but still, it's the principle. Some things a man can't live without. And as I grow older, I'm seeing there are more and more things I can live without, and maybe ESPN will be on that list someday, but not right now. Not during the college bowl season. College basketball is getting going too. Hockey's now on ESPN, although everything's shut down now because of the flu is back. So I start freaking out, and I know Valerie is kind of in the other room, and I'm just like, I can't live like this. I'm not going to live like this. I need my fix. So I asked her. She had Hulu, one of the basic plans. I said, we're going to upgrade your Hulu. We need ESPN. And so we upgraded, and I was apparently going off saying a bunch of things that she was just laughing hysterically about. She wrote them down on her Facebook, making fun of me, because I was literally freaking out. Like, I want this fixed immediately. Sorry, screw you, YouTube. Screw YouTube TV. I was like, you can't. You're killing me. So I deleted the account. I added Hulu. I scrolled through it. Not quite as good as the screen on YouTube TV, but Hulu, not bad. Had all the channels I needed. Started scrolling through, and I found like the Division I AA playoff game or something. I was saying stuff like, "Oh man, thank God, random teams are on the television. That means we have full access." And Val's just laughing. I'm like, you guys are, you'll never understand this true torture. So that crisis was averted, and again, I felt semi bad because of the whole Bubba Wallace situation that had just occurred. I was like, I hate that I need you. I hate that I need you, Espen, but for now, I do. This is a term thrown around in boxing all the time. In UFC, speaking of boxing, man, did you guys see the Jake Paul knockout? Tyron Woodley got dropped. And Paul came in tight like he was going to the body, and then a massive right hand. Woodley got smoked, face plant to the ground, gloves behind him. That was ugly. That was nasty. Say what you want about the Paul brothers, but man, Jake Paul, a couple of his knockouts have really been impressive. I really want to see him fight a regular boxer, though, not these UFC guys, not some celebrity. It's time for him to fight a real boxer, even someone who's doesn't have many fights under his career. But the term champion is thrown around. He's a champion of this justice, or he's boxing. Boxing has too many champions. Everyone's a champion. There's 4 champions at every weight class or something. We throw that term around too often. There's words we use now that are overused, and there's also words that kind of get pushed aside. I opened the show with that, holiday and Christmas, right? We have to pay attention to kind of what's going on. If we open our eyes, actually open our ears, for 1 second, just think about all the words you hear now that you didn't hear before. Equity is a big one. Not equality, equity. Now we need not just equal of opportunity, but it has to be. It has to be the equal, fair result. Can you imagine equity in the NFL? Hey, the Jets haven't won a game in a long time, haven't finished above 500 for a long time, but it would be equitable if the New York Jets made the playoffs this year. Sorry, Baltimore Ravens, you've been in the playoffs the past 5 years or whatever it's been. We have to push into the New York Jets. That's equity. It was all equal. It was equality. Everyone played 17 games this year. That's equality. You had a chance to get enough wins for the playoffs. But equity, yeah, we need Jets. It's time for you guys. Just an analogy, but you hear equity a lot. You hear, misinformation. You hear, and when something doesn't go your way, or people aren't buying into something, the verbiage even changes, or maybe the entire situation changes. I'll just say this: weather comes to mind. Terms are turned on that all the time. But champion, everyone's a champion. No, not everyone's a champion. There's losers. There's second placers. I've been a champion before, and I've also been a first round playoff loser before. Champion's way better, but I wasn't good enough to always get there. So it's like it's turned into the new participation trophy. People were up in arms about participation trophies. And so they just started calling everyone a champion. No. I'm not going to stand for it. Not going to stand for it. A little coffee break here. I also want to talk about this concept of how a lot of, people, the phrase, it's not a big deal. Oh, that's not a big deal. Well, you know what? A lot of not a big deals can add up to big deals. Now, if that makes sense to you. All right, but let's look at COVID. I hate to bring, it's a controversial subject. It's just 2 weeks. Not a big deal. It's just a mask. Not a big deal. It's just no one working, losing your jobs. Okay, not a big deal. It's just a vaccine. Not a big deal. It's just a booster. Not a big deal. It's just not seeing family at Christmas 1 year. Not a big deal. Oh, it's just seeing family at Christmas 2 years. Not a big deal. Do you kind of see? I don't want to talk COVID all day because I'm over it. I'm over it. I want to live my life, and it's funny as some people take that concept as I want to walk around and start sneezing on people or something. That's not what I mean. It's just time for us to live our lives. All right. Oh, variants. I'm not. Again, I am not being sensitive to people who have passed away. All right. I'm not doing that. I feel sorry for everyone who's passed away. I may or may not know someone who recently passed away, but where was I going with this? Where was I? Big deals. So a lot of big deals, a lot of not big deals add up to big deals. All right. Again, relationships, you can see this. What you permit, what you tolerate. All right, that's not a big deal. I can live with that. All right, and maybe there's truth in that. All right, no ESPN, it's not a big deal. To me, it was. That is a big deal. I'm crazy. I know. I don't want to be attached to ESPN like that. Trust me, I'm looking for alternatives, looking for other ways. Maybe someday, but for now, I try to balance when I support, what I pay for, this and that. But keep that in mind. A lot of big deals, not a big deals, add up to big deals. And let's flip that to the positive side. Maybe, like gifts, for instance, giving gifts to a lot of different friends. All right, it's just a little something. It's just a beverage in a bottle. It's just some cookies. It's just whatever. Like, that's not a big deal. But if you do that a lot, or say you're at Christmas and you're on the receiving end, you get a lot of little gifts. Don't you feel pretty blessed at the end of Christmas? Don't you feel like, man, I got a lot of gifts this year? Maybe it's 12 different packages of cookies or chocolates or whatever. Like, it's all stuff you probably shouldn't eat. But still, like, there's a sense of a lot of these little things added up to big things. That's kind of like why I love sports and teams, and how it's all about the little things adding up to a big goal. And so I think whether it's negative or positive, sometimes it's good to say, "Oh, it's not a big deal." And sometimes it's important to realize, no, that is more than not a big deal. That will lead to a very big deal. All right. So again, you get all this randomness from me on Tuesdays. Last thing I'll say, probably in regarding controversial stuff. I'm no expert. I'm no anything. I'm just a random Rams fan podcasting on a Tuesday morning. I know this. This is all I'm going to say. I know there's a few things you can't control. People, first of all, but that's a separate subject. Okay, you can't control a virus or the weather. That's all I'm going to say. We need to stop trying to do that. You can't control the virus or a virus or the weather. We just can't do it. You can keep trying, but I don't think it's going to end well. And some will say, well, yeah, of course it's not going to end well because we're not controlling. Let's just try to accept those things. If we can accept those things, I think we'd have a healthier, happier planet, we'll say. And this, professional athletes are like the healthiest individuals out there. I know they're extremely fit. Maybe them have some heart issues or whatever, but that's on the big scheme of things. They're very, very healthy, and they are of pretty much no risk to hospitalization or anything of that nature from viruses and sickness, really. Yes, I know some guys do. Okay, some guys I'm sure have had the flu really bad and whatever. All right. Well, now what about the spread? Okay, there's other precautions everyone's taking, right? If you're elderly or older, probably a good idea to get vaccinated, right? Probably not a good idea to go hang out in big crowds or whatever. But if you do so, or you do not decide to do those things, hey, it's your life. Live your life, man. Okay, but we got to stop acting like the healthiest athletes on the planet are at severe risk from things. And I know the argument, oh, it's about other people or their families and this and that. Well, take precautions. Of course, everyone needs to be responsible for their own safety, for their own actions. Okay. I'm sorry. I like my neighbors, or I like my neighborhood. Okay. It's not up to them to defend my house. It would be nice if they helped out or whatever. Cool. But I don't count on them to protect my household, to protect me necessarily. If they do, great. But shouldn't be expected. You protect yourself. You protect your loved ones. We talk about personal accountability all the time, but that seems to go out the window. Anyway, let's jump into some sports topics. Again, I need a lot more coffee. Okay, it's December. And before I go here, I do have one final Christmas list for you guys, a top 10 list, if you will. So I will end the show with that. And today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday morning. This show will be out here in an hour or so, before noon probably. Today, my LA Rams do play the Seattle Seahawks. Tuesday matinee, 4:00, as well as Washington Redskins are playing the Philadelphia Eagles, the two final games of Week 15 in the NFL. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous about every Rams game because they are in the hunt, man. They're right there. Them and Seattle always kind of go nose to nose. So we'll see what happens today after the big win by the Rams last week in Arizona. Just a perception about the NFL. I've talked a long time about running quarterbacks. I'm talking mobile guys necessarily, but this whole idea, this whole love affair with quarterbacks running the football. Now, I know the rules have changed. You can't even touch these guys anymore. And you can see it when a lot of them get in the open field. A lot of them are like looking for a hit, like, come on, hit me, hit me, hit me. It's kind of embarrassing that it's come to that. But it's interesting to me. I've said this for a long time, the whole running quarterback, be careful what you wish for. It's not to say mobile guys can't be successful or whatever. But my point of all this is that the NFL still is a pocket passer league, and the proof is in the pudding, man. You look at guys like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, who are in their 40s, still slinging it, looking darn good. And I know Rodgers moves around pretty good. He has a lot of escapability. Tom Brady doesn't. All right. And it's not to say those guys haven't been injured. Tom Brady had a torn ACL before on a low hit. Rodgers has broken a clavicle before. Okay. Injuries happen. All right. But what we're not seeing right now is a lot of the pocket passers in the league. They seem to be pretty healthy as we move into the final weeks of the season. What you are seeing is a lot of these running quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, they seem to be banged up. And it's not to say, I know Lamar kind of got hit as he was throwing the ball. All right. But again, it's an accumulation of being tackled. All right. Quarterbacks are hit enough in the pocket. Okay. Every time they run the ball, I know they can slide, they can run out of bounds. All right. But the hits that they take, I've seen Lamar, they run power plays with him on 4th and 1 and stuff. And it's like, why do you want your quarterback taking those hits? Kyler Murray, little guy. All right. He's an excellent passer. He's so quick. But man, when pressure gets to him, he looks small, so small, so fast. He's very frustrated right now. And then let's even look at some bigger guys. Josh Allen, Cam Newton. Remember when he took the league by storm? Oh, he's going to change the game, power football, this and that. Cam looks worn down, beat up, man. And I fear that that's what's going to happen with Josh Allen of Buffalo. Big guy. He can take a lot of hits, right? He's tough to bring down. But I feel like he's Cam Newton 2.0 if you really think about it. Look at those two careers, right? Stellar performer, tough as nails, a guy that's, can throw the ball, can also run it down by the goal line, gets a lot of carries. I think it's dangerous, man. You're playing with fire. Cam deteriorated really quick. He still should be playing at a higher level than he is, and he hasn't. And I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of the punishment he took over the years. You look at someone like Russell Wilson. Russell has great escapability from the pocket. He drives you nuts as a opposing team, right? And he gets roughed up a little bit here and there. My point with guys like Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray specifically, I saw this last week against the Rams. By the fourth quarter, whether these guys are getting sacked or not, by the fourth quarter, these guys look absolutely exhausted. All right, I'm sure it's tiring to deliver the ball from the pocket and to mentally break everything down. But when you add in constantly running for your life, running for first downs, these guys are dead tired at the end of the game. Think about running backs. When they run the ball, they get a few carries, they go out. Quarterbacks, they don't ever go out. So I think that's another factor to this whole running quarterback thing, this whole running quarterback love affair, is that, man, by the end of the game, these guys are just, they look spent. They look dead tired. And if you got to go to overtime or something, God forbid, how much do they have left in the tank? They're the best athletes in the world. They're way better shape than I am. They're conditioned and everything. It's just an observation. I think quarterbacks who run around a lot, by the end of the game, especially here in December, after 15 games or so, 14 games, they just look absolutely exhausted. And I don't know if that plays well going into the playoffs, but we'll see. Patrick Mahomes, guy escapes like crazy. He runs around a ton. But remember last year in the Super Bowl, we saw him. He looked absolute dead tired, having to just escape and run for his life against the Buccaneers. So just my thoughts on the whole running quarterback love affair, as I will continue to preach against it. And into September, everybody loves it. Oh, the new game, it's changed. Run the zone option. It's great. Yeah, until guys start to get banged up. And again, it may not be one hit, one injury, but it takes time over the course of time. Probably not the best of time. I tried to give you guys some real quality examples there. Say what you will about the Rams. I think the best offensive player in the league right now is Cooper Kupp, and I think the best defensive player in the league is still Aaron Donald. I'm a little biased, but I also think with the production, and even if Donald isn't getting a ton of sacks or whatever, the attention he gets, the way in which a game is called completely different offensively to go away from him or double, triple team him. He still wreaks havoc, and I think he's still the best defensive player. Offensively, there's some great guys, especially quarterbacks, but I think the production from Cooper Kupp it has been outstanding. And he amazes me every game. He really does. And when he was interviewed a few weeks back, he was talking about a route he ran, and he gave like this 2-paragraph essay about why he ran the route and the coverage. And I was just like, whoa, he's like little McVay out there on the field. So very skilled individual, a guy that has a great speed and breaks tackles. And I do think Cooper Kupp is the best offensive player in the NFL to date. My Rams haters out there will argue with me, but that's just this year anyway. This year, I think Cooper Kupp has been phenomenal. Let's see. There's an all Madden documentary coming out on Christmas Day on Fox. I am so jacked up for this. I love John Madden as a kid, watching him on the Fox Game of the Week. Also, his video game. I mean, you say the word Madden, people know you're talking NFL football video game. Started on the Sega Genesis and has transformed into all the great video games that still continue to be played to this day. So, John Madden. All Madden documentary, talking about his days in college, talking about his days as an NFL coach and then a broadcaster. This is going to be something you don't want to miss. I believe it's 11 a.m. on Christmas Day, 11 a.m. Pacific time on Fox. So there is some NFL football on Saturday also that lead into that. That leads into, I should say, I think there's a Fox game. Let me double check here. I think there's 2 football games on Christmas Day, Saturday. Let's see, week 16. Can't believe that's here. 2 games on Saturday, the Browns Packers at 1:30 on Fox. So the Madden documentary kind of leads into that. So man, if you're kind of in between Christmas morning and kind of your Christmas afternoon, evening dinner, man, I got to tell you, that's definitely something you should set aside. 11 a.m. after presents here on the Pacific time zone. And then the Colts Cardinals, that's going to be a great football game on Saturday night, Christmas night, 5:15 on the NFL Network. Hopefully, God willing, you have that channel. I know I do, and I will be tuning in for sure. So that'll be a great game. The Colts have they've come out of nowhere, really, and I've been watching them on Hard Knocks. It's been phenomenal. I love this in-season Hard Knocks. I've told you guys that before, but it's absolutely been great. Let me see. What else do we need here? Do we need anything else? This is a quote I wrote down. How many lives have been ruined by, I'll do it later? How many times do you tell yourself that? I said that all the time. Like, I'll do that later. And then it always comes around and I'm just like, why didn't I just do that when I should have? It could be anything, a bill, a chore, it's something. I'll do it later. I think there's been more damage done by I'll do it later than any other phrase. Well, we'll think of some phrases. What have been some other dangerous, irresponsible phrases? I'm sure there's been a few from 2021 and 2020 and 2021. 2022 around the corner. That's kind of odd. Hopefully it's not 2020, the sequel, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. 2021 wasn't that much better than 2020. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, it's been rather expensive with gas prices and inflation and all those things. I don't know what changed in 2021. Something did. But anyway, not that great of a year. I remember last year on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, we were talking about, man, looking forward to 2021, wiping this year clean. But I got to tell you, I can't wait to turn the calendar on 2021 as well. Not been a great year for a lot of different reasons. Okay, it's Christmas time. Enough of my randomness, enough of my sports topics. It's time to dive into Christmas. One final Christmas list for you guys. First, foremost, my Christmas plans. Christmas Eve, Valerie and I all enjoy our little home here. We got a new fireplace finally. Some heaters because this place literally freezes like the North Pole. So we got some of that. So we're going to start our Christmas celebration, maybe even on the 23rd. But presents will be open Christmas Eve between me and her. Christmas morning, be celebrating with some family, and then Christmas afternoon with some family as well. Had a great time this last weekend with some friends. Got to drop some gifts off. Had some refreshments, we'll say. Ended up going to dinner at a cool hibachi restaurant, Christmas celebration. Saw the one and only Bill Barnes, who was there with his Christmas jacket. I posted video of him dancing earlier in the afternoon. So he was fired up. And this guy, this stranger who was at our table with us, him and two kids, fun conversation. I was with some, Barnes, of course, law enforcement. So some other law enforcement friends of ours, and a conversation got going. Anyway, I left the table to take a unfortunate phone call. But I found out later this guy who was real talkative and friendly with everybody, he ended up leaving as I was outside on the phone, and he waved at me and found out this guy paid for everybody's dinner. I think he heard that a few of the people we were talking to were law enforcement, and I got to imagine that's why he did what he did. And maybe he went to the hibachi grill that night planning to do this just for buy dinner, Christmas dinner, if you will, for some random people. But I thought that was really awesome. And thank you to, I think his name was Ryan. I'm not positive. I think his name was Ryan, but God bless you, man. And thank you for the Christmas meal. And I know his wife was going through some recovery and things. So Godspeed to her, and have a Merry Christmas, sir. Thank you very much for your very kind act indeed. Bill Barnes, in his Christmas sweater, Christmas jacket, was talking to me about making an appearance on the podcast soon. So stay tuned. That could be happening very, very soon, guys. Not a weekly thing by any means, but Bill Barnes might, in fact, make a return appearance to the podcast. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that. I also have another guest, Tracy McFate, lined up, who's been on the podcast before. It will be his third or fourth time, I think. He was on last Christmas, and then he filled in for Bill Barnes in the summer once, but he's always a lot of fun to talk to. So he'll be on the podcast soon. There was one final Christmas tradition before I get into my list here. I forget. I can't remember. Too many things to think about, to talk about. So Christmas is here. I'm excited. You guys know it. Got my beautiful tree behind me. Looks like my battery is running a little low here. Might have to upgrade and plug in here in a minute. But I do want to talk about my Christmas list real quick. Oh, I know I said I was getting into my Christmas list here, the final top 10 list of the Christmas season from Matt Hersema. But there was a story that I posted, and I wanted you guys to look it up if you've not seen it already. I saw a few videos on it. I talked about it before, and then I looked up a kind of a documentary or two about it. But it's called The Christmas Truce of 1914. If you want something that kind of gets your Christmas spirits up and running, look that up. It's from World War I, specifically the British and the Germans, facing off in their trenches, not far from each other in the first year of World War I, and first Christmas too. It's a great story. It's something that I think we can all learn from, that even in the scariest of moments, the worst of times, up against brutal, hated enemies, there's still a time to celebrate Christmas, if you will. So it starts with kind of Christmas carols on Christmas Eve and spills into Christmas Day, coming out of the trenches and celebrating Christmas together. I can't really do it justice by describing it that way, but please check that out. Spend a few minutes to look up The Christmas Truce of 1914, and maybe it'll inspire some of you to celebrate Christmas, to maybe reach out to those you haven't talked to in a while, to maybe clear up some arguments or things of that nature too, because Christmas is that time really where it's important, I think, for us to come together one day a year at least, even though it's an entire season, where we can all improve ourselves, celebrate loved ones, and just embrace that Christmas spirit. So The Christmas Truce of 1914, check it out, please. I guarantee you you'll get a little emotional and maybe think about a few things that that are within you. I know I sure did. So let me get to my top 10 list here to finish out the show. I've done my top 10 Christmas movies. I've done my top 10 Christmas songs. Last week I did my top 10 Christmas traditions, just kind of random things that I like to do at Christmas time. This week, because let's be honest, this week, Christmas week, we're grubbing, man. We are eating. You know what? This is not the time to count calories. This is not the time to go, carb free, neutral, whatever free, whatever the terms are. This is the time. This is it, guys. This is the Olympics of eating this week. We get it going. We started up with Thanksgiving. That's a fun few days. Christmas week. Come on now. It's time. Too much sugar, too many carbs, too many other things, too many lots of things is what I want to get into this week. So let's dive in. I'm going to go top 10 Christmas goodies. Now, this is a very diverse list. Some of it is like meals related, and some of it is just kind of snacking goodies. A lot of sugar on here. Got to be honest. A lot of sugar. I would argue, man, almost more sugar in Christmas than Halloween. Maybe not Halloween, but now to each his own. These are just things that I think about at Christmas time. Things that I maybe not even love that much, but I see them. I think of Christmas. I see it. They're out a lot, right? And meals wise, the beauty of Christmas is you can kind of do whatever you want for your main meal, whether it's pasta or pot roast or turkey, ham. You can't go wrong. You really can't. But as far as the other goodies and traditions, I did traditions, but I mean, just things that you kind of see every year. Here we go. We'll get some argument here. I understand. I didn't call it Christmas food. It's Christmas goodies. I'm leaving it open to interpretation here. You can argue with me if you will, or maybe I'd love to hear from you. Throw me your favorite things. I've told you this all month, but anyway, here we go. Top 10 Christmas goodies. At number 10, candy canes, peppermint candy canes. Look it. I'm not a huge fan, but you see them out and about. Red, white, and blue. It's the red, white, and blue. Red and white candy. That classic look gives you the Christmas feel. The candy cane shaped in the J. Also the shepherd's staff. There's biblical references there, so that's why this comes into play here. But a nice candy cane. I don't know, after a meal or something, rather than have a mint. It's like, oh, candy cane, that'd be nice. So anyway, not my favorite, but again, I think you can't really have the Christmas conversation, the Christmas goodies out there without seeing some candy canes. And once a year, they're pretty good to have. So candy canes are on the list, not just for flavor, but kind of the backstory, kind of the visualization of them, I guess, is why they are there. Number 9, this is really low on the list, but I put it on here because not many people probably do this. I'm the only guy who does, well, me and a few friends, I should say. And I talked about this one last week in my Christmas tradition list, but this is, let's just say In-N-Out Burger. Okay, In-N-Out Burger is fantastic. Last night, in fact, I had In-N-Out brought to me by the good people of FedEx Express, I should say. My employer brought the In-N-Out truck, that giant, beautiful rig, just set up shop with little tents and ordering. Oh, it was phenomenal. And they hand you a receipt with no charge on it. It was just like, it's Christmas time now, guys. So got my double, no fries. Sacrifices got to be made. You have chips and a drink. The old In-N-Out on the go there. So had In-N-Out last night for Christmas, courtesy of FedEx. I have In-N-Out every Christmas Eve. I've been doing that for like 20 years now. I've gone into the reasons before, but it's a tradition I've kept going. Sometimes I have it at 3 in the afternoon. Sometimes I have it 10 o'clock at night, but Valerie has bought into it. Not very hard to convince her. So after work on Christmas Eve, I will stop at In-N-Out and bring some In-N-Out home while we do that, and then indulge in some gifts. It's just, I don't know. It's hot, good food. It's Christmas in your mouth, man. Let me tell you. In-N-Out Burger. Try it sometime. Try it on Christmas Eve. They're not open Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve or maybe a few days before Christmas. Come on, you don't need an excuse to go to In-N-Out, but In-N-Out Burger. I'm sorry for all you non-West Coasters or non-In-N-Out states. God bless you. You probably are better off than we are in a lot of areas, but In-N-Out Burger is the one thing really that we can keep a one up on you guys over. And man, it's good stuff. Oh, it's so good. Okay, number 8, back to sugar here. I'm going gingerbread. Now, you don't think of gingerbread as built like, especially, you don't really think of that any other time of year except Christmas, right? And again, it's one of those foods, one of those flavors that I'm just like, yeah, Christmas. Give me some gingerbread. I want some of that. It just works. It's really good with coffee. What isn't? But gingerbread, the gingerbread house, right? Those are awesome. You bake this house and you want to eat the little house. It's just really, really cool. Gingerbread, I think, similar to candy canes. If you said gingerbread in June, you would think, oh, Christmas, right? It's just gingerbread, especially the smell of it. Just so good. Gingerbread cookies, although cookies is a whole nother animal that is much higher on the list. covers a lot of ground. But gingerbread, think about it. It's just, yeah, Christmas time. Give me some gingerbread. Number 7 on the list, hot chocolate. All right. You're going to have hot chocolate any winter months, of course. All right. But hot chocolate specifically, I don't know. You got your coffee. That's great too. You got your fancy vanilla lattes or whatever you people drink. But hot chocolate comes in Christmas time. It just sounds good. It just sounds, it starts to get cold. Maybe you don't want that caffeine, but you want a little sugar, right? Hot chocolate. Remember in Home Alone 2, he asked the lady in the park, let's get some hot chocolate. Christmas morning, we used to have hot chocolate, randomly or whatever, but it was Christmas morning was the only time my mom would make it with milk. We had that for the first time where she heated up milk and then the hot chocolate in it. I was like, where has this been? This is phenomenal. Hot chocolate. And some people try it different ways. Some people spike it. Some people have double hot chocolate, maybe some type of a stick or something in there, a stir stick, a chocolate spoon. There's a lot of different versions, but just hot chocolate. Think about it. I mean, man, Christmas time, you're a little cold. We can all go for some hot chocolate. Number 6 on the list, good food item here. Now, number 6, before we get into the top 5, continuing on the hot chocolate, I just wrote down box of chocolates because I feel like this is nothing specific. This is broad. This is out there. Like, look right here. We got right here a little plate full of chocolates. All right. I like it being out. I like seeing it visually. You get those C's candy boxes that are phenomenal. We've already gotten one of those. Little John's toffee, which is here in Los Angeles. Best chocolate toffee ever. I got to send some to some friends here soon. But I just feel like there's not just candy boxes, but chocolate boxes everywhere. Little piece, and you can't walk by a room really without, oh, it's Christmas. Let me grab a chocolate, right? It's just, you're always in the mood. You just, again, this is back to justifying. We justify our actions. And I got to tell you, boxes of chocolate everywhere. As a matter of fact, what do we got here? I know it's early. Oh, speaking of gingerbread, I have before me here a Kit Kat gingerbread that I said, you know what? We absolutely need one of those. So is this chocolate? This isn't chocolate. So this is gingerbread. Big color up right there. These were originally going to be gifts. I said, nope. Gingerbread Kit Kat, that stays here. What else we got? I won't have one of these, but this is your standard Reese's, but it's peanut brittle Reese's. So peanut brittle inside. Now this one I will have just because there's some chocolate here, and there was 4 of these. Now there's only 2. So I am very suspicious of that lady upstairs, Valerie Burns. We'll dive into this one because this one is chocolate. It's your standard Reese's, but in the tree shape. So if you see what I mean, there's just chocolate everywhere. And I absolutely love it. It's bad. I won't stand for it. The other 11 months a year, I keep it all out. I don't want to see it. Well, maybe a week before Halloween. But other than that, man, Christmas time, chocolate everywhere. We destroyed a C's Candies pound of candy that found its way to our doorstep. I mean, it did not last very long. Kind of ashamed. And I looked and I was like, you remove the little candy wrappers out of the box, or some of you leave them in. Some of you lunatics, you leave them in. We remove those wrappers. And so you look and you see not many candies in there. And then you look in the trash can, you look over my shoulder. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess we have had a few of those. Oh, unfortunate. But anyway, box of chocolates. I love C's candy. It tastes better in December. I got to finish this right here. This Reese's tree. Probably not my last chocolate for the day, unfortunately. So we'll burn it all off in January, right, guys? Anyway, chocolate on Christmas. I already talked about hot chocolate. I went back to back there. But man, that is good. Reese's. Woo! So good. Chocolate everywhere, especially C's. Oh man, that gift never goes wrong. Val likes dark chocolate for some reason. I'm a milk chocolate guy. So we kind of can divide that box up perfectly. All right, into our top 5. I'm going to go a little wild here. This one's going to throw some people way off. But I am going to go at number 5 with Menudo. Yes, menudo. I know it's not for everybody, but it's a nice big bowl. It's warm. It's what is it? Cow stomach or something in there. Not the cornmeal. What are the corn? Is this corn? Something. Anyway, it's delicious. You have some of that with the tortilla. That is just amazing. And you got people that make it at home. You see restaurants having it at least on the weekends and stuff. Menudo, not for everybody, but for me, woo! Absolutely love me some menudo. Similar to like a bowl of chili or soup or something, but menudo at Christmas time, it just works, man. Get a lot of people who make it. You see all the separate ingredients, right? What do you put in your menudo, right? A lot of it comes just ready to rock, but some people put the onion and the parsley, whatever it is. Oh, you can't go wrong with it. I have not had menudo yet this Christmas season. It's time to grab some. There's a few places around the corner that have it on the weekends that I will definitely be stopping by. But menudo, man, if you haven't had it, hey, it'll warm you up. That broth is so good. Oh, man, the juice, the salt. Oh, it's so good. It's time for some menudo. Warm me up this Christmas. It gets me away from the candy and the chocolate and the sugar, right? Oh, number 4. I know a lot of people like turkey. A lot of people maybe a pot roast or whatever. You can't go wrong. I've said this before and I'll say it again. All right. But for me, Christmas is a big ham. That big, beautiful holiday ham, as they call it, right? No, it's a Christmas ham. Can we stop it? It's a giant ham. Cut it, peel it off. Easy to serve. It just, for me, it goes with all the fixings. It goes with all of the sides, the mashed potatoes. Oh, mac and cheese. Ooh, so good. But ham, man, Christmas and ham. Christmas ham works at Easter also. So maybe it's just the official meat of the holidays involving our Lord. I don't know. But ham is just spectacular. And then you have extra. So the next day you have it with some eggs. Cannot wait. I'm fired up, guys. What a week we got. I hope you all been ready. Hope you all been preparing. Maybe fasting a little bit. I have not, but I am ready to rock and roll. We are grubbing this week. Ham. Are we having ham? I haven't talked to Val yet. Oh, I think we're doing Italian. We're doing like lasagna and stuff. Might have to find a baby ham or something for Christmas Eve. I'll work on it. Valerie makes amazing pasta lasagna, and we got to do some meatballs and stuff. Unfortunately, the Italian food, I didn't make my list here, but something that we've done the past few years is a big Italian spread, just because it feeds an army, it fills you up, carb you up, right, nice and warm. Hard to go wrong there, but I love a pot of meatballs and some pasta and some salad. Oh, sure. Woo. Anyway, enough of that. Ham, big one on my list. I've always been a ham eater, usually mornings and such, but I remember, what is that, a spiral ham or whatever? Easy to cook. A lot of it's already, you just need to heat it up. And ham at Christmas time, to me, that is the main meat, if you will, for Christmas is the ham. Number 3, here we go, guys. Top 3 on the podium, on the medal stand. At number 3, I put in eggnog. Now, look, for many years, I didn't like eggnog. I thought it was gross, and I was like, what is this flavor? It's so, you guys are weird. All right, but as you mature, you get a little older. It is that cup of cheer, right? Whether it has libations in it or not, it's good flavor. A lot of times it's cold, but it kind of warms you up. And I don't know, I like that flavor. It's the flavor of Christmas, really, to me. In fact, I got these I have these Built bars that are kind of like a protein bar that I really like, and they kind of fill you up throughout the day, which is nice. They even had an eggnog flavor. I tried an eggnog protein bar. Phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Maybe you won't. I do. In our cabinet, ready for Christmas Eve, ready for Christmas Day, are a few bottles of some Pennsylvania Dutch freshly made eggnog. It just works. Again, alcohol or no alcohol, it's a cup of cheer. We had a family member who used to make some homemade, and he would make it rather strong, I might say, if you know what I mean. But eggnog is like the flavor of Christmas. Eggnog, it's the only time of year you really do it, right? You might do it Thanksgiving. I doubt it, but eggnog at Christmas, usually a big punch bowl or something. It's different than like beer and wine and all these other things people drink at Christmas, but eggnog, it seems to work. Not to say you can't have your other selections, but eggnog at Christmas time, it's like the Rams and mediocrity. They belong together, right? So eggnog, number 3, And the top beverage here on the list, way ahead of hot chocolate. At number 2, here we go. Number 2. This was a tough one, but for those of you who participate in this here food group, you know what I'm talking about. At number 2, we got tamales. All right. We got tamales, and we got tamales all over the place. You can never have enough. For those people that make them, they're like, oh, would you like some? They never give you enough. It could be a giant bag. It doesn't last very long. Tamales are outstanding at Christmas time. You go home, you unwrap them, you heat them up, and you just go to town. And you just keep going usually watching some type of random college football bowl game, and you just keep shoving. You just keep going. You cannot go. Tamales at Christmas time are spectacular. We hope that you know someone that fulfills this desire, fulfills this need, because not everyone makes them at Christmas time. It's, it's more of a Hispanic thing, of course, but it's very, very good. We have our Mexican heritage on my mom's side, and I don't remember if they make tamales, but I happen to know some people that they do it every year, big tamale party on like Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve, and God bless them, because more tamales, the better. Just keep them coming. My dad loves having a few at Christmas time. He always gets really happy for those. So tamales, very high on my list. May not be for you, but you know what? They grow on you. They absolutely grow on you, and man, can't get enough of those. Just keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. An item that did not make my list because I don't think it's very commonly known. But it's Portuguese, I think. But I'll mention it here in the 2 spot is pierogies. My friend Mike Jarbo, his grandmother, God bless her, she makes a ton every year. You have those with some kielbasa or so. Oh, they're so good. I can't even explain them. I won't do it justice, so I'm not going to try. But look up pierogies. I think it's spelled pie, Pierogies. I've told Mike repeatedly, whatever your grandma brings, I'll back a FedEx truck up and I'll throw them in the back because load up. They're so good. But not many people know about them, so I didn't want to have them on the list here. But I did want to make mention of them. Kind of that participation trophy, if you will. Maybe that Olympic trial athlete, really. I don't know what you want to say. But anyway, a bowl participant, what we will say, the pierogi. But tamales, number 2 on the list. Now, number 1, you can't top Christmas without talking cookies. And I'm not going to even go specific here. I'm just going to say Christmas cookies. They're everywhere. It could be sugar cookies. It could be peanut butter and chip. See, I'm all over the place. Chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate chip, which is one of the best. Oatmeal cookies, phenomenal. No raisins, of course. You psychopaths, do not put raisins in cookies. There should be I won't go there. Raisins and cookies, don't do it. Oatmeal cookies are amazing. I had some molasses cookies at work the other day. Took me back to when my grandma used to have those. Grandma Lois, God bless her, rest her soul. Molasses. I was like, what is molasses? And it was just, it's really good flavor. So there's cookies everywhere. There's cookie parties. People just make a ton. Eating the batter while you're making it. Valdez has done some homemade stuff. M&M's inside chocolate chip cookies. Whoever came up with that has a special place in heaven. Like those are by far. Oh man. And then you start dunking them in milk, and it's just like one thing leads to another. Before you know it, there's none left for Santa. No, all kidding. We always leave some out for Santa, because you got to see those cookie crumbs on the plate Christmas morning. That'll get you every time, man. I got to tell you, you just know Santa came. He did it again. That beautiful, jolly man. Anyway, cookies at Christmas, number 1 on the list. They're everywhere. And maybe you have the specific, those frosted ones, right? Usually in the shape of Christmas trees or something. There's just cookies everywhere. Similar to the candy, the box of chocolates. I think if you go baking, people are making fresh cookies every day. My aunt used to make these thumbprint cookies where they chopped up like walnut with like a raspberry jam in it. You got options. Christmas time, you got options. And I'm hungry now. I had my 2 pieces of candy. Shouldn't have done that. Haven't had lunch yet. It's about time right now for that. Definitely more coffee. And can't wait to get to work today to see what they have for us, because Christmas week, a few weeks before Christmas, really, they bring in some good items and feed us up nice and good as a thank you and everything for all the Christmas work. So Guys, that's my top 10 list of Christmas goodies. I threw a few in there that I knew were wild cards, a few that didn't make the cut, maybe that you think should have. It's just a list. It's all good, man. It's whatever you eat, whatever you consume at Christmas time. I hope it's with loved ones. I hope it's reflecting on a good year, even though it hasn't been a great year. But you know what? There's always reason to celebrate, even if it's just being with other people. I can't wait to get reactions from some of the people I've gotten gifts to, excuse me. Always fun to see that. My brother, he texted me, he goes, 1 hour and 4 minutes. That's how long it took to do all of my Christmas shopping, a new record. And God bless Sam. That's what he likes to do, is just do something quick. And for me, the month of December is busy and running around, coming up with ideas of what to get who, and you try to balance it all out and get something meaningful. And it really is awesome too to get gifts from people and see that, oh man, I didn't expect something from you, but thank you. Or me and Valerie, our gift exchange is always a lot of fun. Getting stuff from my dad, who's given me so much, not just in presents, but just in life. I'll say this about my dad at Christmas time. I've said this before on the podcast, but the thing I'm most grateful for my father about is that he has taught me at an early age and just all throughout my life to not be afraid, to fear not, right? Which is said in the Bible so many times, to fear not. But and at times my dad has said it maybe more aggressively and in other ways that were critical or whatever. But I think ultimately that is something that I just cherish from my dad, is that when there's so much fear going around us in this crazy world, I look at my dad and I know that he's taught me to not be afraid. Don't be afraid. Show a little courage, manliness, whatever, any adjective you want to put in there. I look at him for strength, because I'm like, that guy he's not afraid of anything. So, most of us shouldn't be. So thank you, Dad. Sam, looking forward to seeing you Christmas morning. My immediate family, and of course my extended family. I may not see you guys, but Merry Christmas to everyone out there. In all seriousness, so many people to thank and to say Merry Christmas to. That it's nice having this podcast, an opportunity to do that here on the airwaves, if you will. I don't know if you guys will listen to this today, before Christmas, after Christmas, or ever, but to everyone who's on this listening to the podcast, Merry Christmas to you and to yours. Have that extra cup of eggnog, have that extra cookie, indulge, celebrate. If not now, then when? You know what I mean? Hopefully you are with loved ones, but if you're not, hopefully you're able to reach out to those you can't see this year for whatever reason. And man, just have a great Christmas, everybody. I'm so excited. My days at work are going to fly by this week, and we're going to get the celebration going probably on the 23rd. And stay tuned, guys. I have a great show for you guys on Friday, one way or another. Christmas Eve, I'm going to record that here in a day or so, and I'll have a great show for you guys. I can promise you that, with probably, more than likely, a really good guest, someone who's been on here before, either way. And you guys will definitely have a lot of fun listening to that. And if you don't get to it before Christmas, I totally get it, but I wanted to have it released Christmas Eve. And anyway, that's enough for today, guys. Merry Christmas to all. Very excited. I'll see you or talk to you before Christmas, but this show specifically today has been about Christmas and just sharing with you some of my Christmas goodies and some of the things I'm thankful for. Some things I'm fired up about as well. I'm not going to be afraid. Other people maybe are and are addicted to fear, but I look at strength, and so many people, so many of my friends around the country that inspire me daily. So I'm going to be my best self, maybe not food wise, discipline wise. It's time to overeat, indulge, as I said. But man, to everyone out there, Merry Christmas. Have a great celebration with your family. And I hope to hear from some of you sharing with me your Christmas experiences with loved ones, maybe some of your traditions. I would absolutely love to hear. So you know where to reach me here on the Get Home Safe podcast. I will be back on Friday with a Christmas interview. But guys, until then, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe and Merry Christmas.